places I have been, the faces I have seen, all point me one way. All the decisions in my life, people telling me what's right, but I will make my own way. I wish that they could see half as clearly as I do, but they never see it all. 'Cause every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I make my choice and I pave my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You can push me around or put me in my place, but I'll never stay there. Understanding my life, why I am, may take some time. 'Cause every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains. They let you in from your disguise. Once you're in, you never give in until you see the light drawn from their I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that your week was good as well. So, starting off tonight with Art Not Commerce, because there's a delay from when I'm live streaming and then I'm seeing it back. I just saw the two random dudes on Maidenhead Bridge at the end of that video. So yeah, big shout out to them, whoever they were. But yes, hello to you guys in the live chat room tonight. I can see you already. Let me give you a quick shout out in there. We have PM1123, Ro, Alison, Heather, Billy, Gabe, Kevin, Ninja Kitty, Mo, Elaine, Ro, Rose, Bob's in there as well. Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. So, when I was setting up tonight's live stream, with about 5 minutes to go, I thought I've forgotten to do something, and I couldn't remember what it was because thankfully the screen capture stuff that I have had to reprogram on the other live streams, that was still working, which was good. So yeah, I got a little bit distracted by that. But then I remembered that I hadn't put up the vote for tonight's cover video. So yeah, that is now available at the bottom of the live chat room. Let's mention that at the beginning of the live stream, which I never normally do. So if you guys want to hear More Than Words or Hero, my version of either of those songs, then yeah, you can vote at the bottom of the live chat room. So let's get some stuff up on screen. First of all, the names of my patrons that make this possible in the first place. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are, and their names go across the bottom of the live streams on a Saturday and a Tuesday. I always say the foundation of everything that I do. So yeah, a big shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. Let's get the likes goal up on screen for tonight as well. We're aiming for 340. Now, I don't know whether we're going to be able to reach that or not, but fingers crossed we might be able to. So, yeah, we will see. If you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we'll see where we end up by the end of the live stream. And if we do get enough likes, then we will have Phil Jam number 330. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'll get the likeometer up on screen. At the moment we're at 158, so let's see if we can get a spike of the likes going on. If you could hit that thumbs up, let's see if we can get those firework things going. There we go. All of that stuff is still on, so yeah, looking for some thumbs up, and then we'll get some fireworks as well, maybe. So yeah, 340 is the target, and yeah, I don't think I'm clever enough to do the maths from 167 or 171. That'd be like what, 169? I don't know. I don't know where that number just came from, but that's what my brain said. So yeah, if we get closer to 200, that means it'll be 140. It might have been close. Would that be now 161? That's what I'm going for tonight's maths. So that's that covered. Right, now let me get the donations tab up on screen. As I always say, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. But for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. So now, what has been happening recently? Oh, we might have a troll corner later on, because yeah, I've been getting some interesting comments recently. But with the last video, that was Sir Paul McCartney that we looked at, and that was, yeah, literally last night. And a few people have checked out that video, which is good. And yeah, some of the comments that I got underneath that, I mean, just maybe a couple of comments I'll talk about in Troll Corner, but pretty much the video was just explaining about having a totally live performance, which yeah, is very rare to see on TV nowadays, and for it not to be post-edited. So it was great to see that. But you guys can check out that video that I uploaded last night if you guys want to see that. There's going to be another video tomorrow night, and yeah, that's going to be an interesting one as well, so look out for that. It's 8 p.m. British summertime. That's what it is now. If you want to type into Google just time in London, England. I always say that's the easiest way to figure out what time it is here and what time it'll be where you are when I release videos. But I always aim for 8 p.m. on Sunday and Wednesday and Friday. That's when the analysis videos come out. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff going on. Now, the other have I got everything? Have I been through everything that I normally go through? I think I have been through everything. There is a PayPal donation, so I will quickly jump over there. And it is Paul who donated $5. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, catch up crew for me. Please spike the likes and have a great time, all y'all. Peace, love, and rock. Now, so thank you for that, Paul. Over on PayPal. I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything out. No, that's now up to date. So now, in terms of the weather here, I know on Tuesday I said that it was very hot. And it was very hot. And the record was, I said I thought it was 34 degrees or something, but I do believe it was 35.1, maybe. I did know what it was, but I'm just trying to use my memory from Wednesday when I found out exactly what it was. So yeah, 35.1 degrees in not even summer. So yeah, all a bit crazy. Thankfully, things have cooled down a little bit. Things are still quite hot, I would say, considering it's not even summer yet. And I think we're in and around the mid to high 20s Celsius. So still, yeah, got the air conditioning on, and yeah, everything's okay in this room at the moment. Heat wise, it's still quite cool. But I think when we do get to 30 degrees Celsius plus, that's when even with the air conditioning it's a little bit over the top. So yeah, thankfully things are cooling down. I don't know whether they're going to heat up again. They might do, but hopefully it'll go back to normal temperatures. I say normal temperatures, it is so warm compared to what it would normally be. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Earlier on today, here's another thing that I think most of the UK were tuning into. It was the Champions League final. Now, this is a football competition that is held throughout Europe, but all of the best teams from all of the different leagues in Europe then have a competition to see who is the best. And in the final, we had the team that won the Premier League this year called Arsenal. And it just so happens that they are the arch rivals of the team that I support, called Tottenham. But anyway, Arsenal, they won the league, the Premier League, and yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people who are Tottenham fans don't want Arsenal to win anything, and yeah, it's kind of a rivalry that's gone, for, been going and has gone for years and years and years and years. But I mean, I would be interested if I could. Well, I probably could do this, but if I could be bothered, that's probably more accurate, to go outside either the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or the Arsenal Stadium and ask people, why do Arsenal not like Tottenham, or why do Tottenham not like Arsenal? Because I'm pretty confident that most people won't even know the reason why they're not supposed to like another team. It's just something that they've been brought up with, and they say, oh right, that team, they are your rivals, and that's the derby is what we call it here, where they kind of jump into challenges quite harshly, and that they put in a lot more aggression against your rivals in that kind of match. So yeah, I'd be interested to know, and this is why I've got a bit more of a relaxed approach about it, because I thought, well, when I was growing up, I didn't know why we didn't like Arsenal. Suddenly then you find out afterwards the reason for it. So, I mean, I don't know, I think the reason for it isn't that bad, really. It's just that Tottenham, both clubs are in North London. Tottenham had their pitch and stadium, and in that area of North London, that's where Tottenham was, and that's where they had their stadium. But then Arsenal moved really close to Tottenham and set up their own pitch and their own stadium. So I mean, we're talking about years and years and years and years and years ago. So yeah, that's why the rivalry started, because Tottenham said, oh hang on, this is our patch, man, you can't come and play here as well. So I mean, when you think about it, it's like a playground thing where you say, oh, this is our turf, you're not allowed to play football here as well. And then Arsenal say, well, we are going to play football here, so what are you going to do about it? And then Tottenham say, well, we're going to really, play hard against you when we play against you in our matches. But I mean, I joke about it, but it's really serious that you get people that hate Arsenal, and Arsenal kind of hate Tottenham, and Arsenal were almost probably the happiest they could ever be because they won the league, and then Tottenham almost got relegated. I mean, it's unbelievable and a bit ridiculous because Tottenham built a new stadium, was it like 5 years ago or something? Because, I think the owners thought, right, we're now going to really push forward and we're going to be a huge club and, like having a massive stadium like, Man United and, Arsenal, their stadium's really good as well. And you've got so many clubs that are now kind of upscaling because they're in the Premier League. But the problem was, when they built the stadium, they forgot that you've still got to have a good team and a good manager. So it would have been absolutely ridiculous if Tottenham had got relegated into like the league below, where there definitely aren't fancy stadiums, because it would have been a great day out for all of the other clubs that are now coming to this massive stadium that's really new, and then they've built it basically for no purpose because now they've been relegated. So it's a bit of a shame. And if I weren't busy doing everything here, I would offer my services to manage Tottenham as a team, because there are so many basic things that are wrong, and I'm talking about kind of the football. But towards the end of the season, it started to get a bit better. We got another manager who, made a bit of a difference, and therefore we stayed up in the Premier League for next year, which is great. But so many basic things that are wrong. And by the way, when I was a teenager, I was kind of heavily into football, and I did some coaching as well. So that is kind of my background, football coaching. So I gave up football when I was kind of 20 to then focus on music. But I had a lot of years, being very involved in football. So it's a shame when you can see so many things going wrong and you think, hang on, the way things are going here, I wouldn't be surprised if we got relegated. And it turns out we only stayed up by 2 points. So anyway, Arsenal, today they were in the final of the Champions League, playing against Paris Saint-Germain, which is basically Paris, the team from France. And unfortunately, Arsenal lost. And I say unfortunately, I know a lot of people will say, oh, you're a Tottenham fan, so that's why you're saying unfortunately. But I wouldn't have minded if they'd won. Because I'd say I'm more a football fan first, over just somebody supporting a team and that being their team. And I've never really understood it, because you support your team and you hate the other team that might be your rivals, but then when a World Cup comes around, you're now cheering on the players that you hate. But now you like them because they play for England. So this is why I don't understand it. For me, I can't make that mental switch thinking, oh I hate that player because they play for the rival team. But then they get selected for England, and then you're cheering on that player who you're supposed to hate. So so this is why I'm much more just a football fan rather than obviously I watch Tottenham, or I'm interested more in Tottenham than other teams because it's the team that I've supported since my childhood. But I'm very much about, if you lose, for me it's not the end of the world. I know that for some people, if your team loses on a Saturday, it ruins their whole weekend, so they're like depressed. And if it's a bank holiday weekend, it means they're depressed for the Monday as well. Whereas for me, if my team lose on a Saturday, I think, well, the other team are happy, so you got to look at it from that point of view. That there's always a positive. Sadly, the positive is for the other team, but then you remember how you feel when your team wins. You think, oh well, they're feeling that, so you can deal with it, or I can deal with it. Maybe some people can't deal with it. So anyway, moving on. But that was the big news for today, the Champions League thing, the final that I think probably a lot of people were watching. Unfortunately, Arsenal didn't win. It went to penalties, and penalties are a bit of a lottery anyway. And with club teams, of course, they have players from different countries. So the person that missed, I think, the important penalty was called Gabriel from Brazil. So, I mean, he should have maybe scored, being Brazilian, but usually the English players miss, and usually the England team loses on penalties. So we're going to have to wait for that in the World Cup, which is coming up soon. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do a little bit better at penalties, and we have been getting better at it recently in competitions. So we will see, and that is over in the USA. So yeah, look out for that. 1994, I know, was the last World Cup in the USA, and yeah, that's the first one that I have memories of. And there was, I think, Diana Ross in the opening ceremony. She goes to kick the ball into the goal, but and she was really close to the goal, and she missed the goal. But the goal still separated in two, as if the ball had hit so powerfully that it destroyed it. But the ball missed, but the goal still collapsed. So yeah, that's quite good. So yeah, we're back, and it's only 32 years later. So back in the USA for the World Cup, which would be good. I think is it the USA and Mexico that are kind of sharing it? So yeah, I will definitely be watching that and seeing what happens. So fingers crossed for England, of course, to do quite well. We'll have to wait and see, because we haven't won the World Cup since 1966, and we invented the game. So you think, well, we should win it again at some point, surely, hopefully. Well, we'll find out in the future. So yeah, looking forward to that, the World Cup, and it's once every 4 years. So this is it. I'm wondering what's going to happen with everything that I'm doing on the channel, because I think, well, I would like to watch some of the World Cup matches, and I know at the moment that I'm just doing stuff all the time. So I'm going to have to either kind of mark things in the diary, move things around, or maybe just for once in 4 years, just have a little bit of time away, or maybe do videos in advance, or whatever I'm going to be deciding on doing. But I think it starts relatively soon. Is it like maybe the 6th of June, is it? I don't know. I'll have to check when it starts, but yeah, we're already almost in June, so I'll keep an eye out for that. So Laurelie says Canada and Mexico are also hosting this time, so everyone's getting involved, so that should be quite good. And yeah, I'll have to catch most of that if I can do, because I think on the channel, as things have progressed, I think probably over the last 4 years has been more of a dramatic change with the number of subscribers, and obviously the messages, emails, and all the other stuff that I have to do on a daily basis. So I don't think that there's ever been a World Cup that's happened when I've been this busy. But yeah, I will make time for it. And Cindy says starts June 11th. So there we go. What's that? Week and a half. So yeah, I really need to write down when the England games are, because those are the games that I would definitely be watching. And I wonder, I might pre-warn people that if there's an England football match, I don't know if there is yet, but if there's an England football match during a live stream evening, then I'll probably be watching the football. So we might have to postpone a live stream if it does indeed happen at that time. But then again, would it be happening earlier in the day, because the USA times are earlier than the England times? I'll have to check it all out. Obviously, I haven't looked into it yet. Let me just skip this advert. But we will have to wait and see what happens there. So now, talking about just basic things and things in the news that have happened, something that I saw was a rocket exploding I think that they were going to be sending to the moon, or somebody was sending it to the moon. I think it's one of the really rich people, because you've got one guy who, is he the Amazon guy? I'm not sure. But you've got one guy who's building rockets trying to get to the moon. And then you've got another guy who does the X website thing, and he's trying to make rockets as well to go into space or go to the moon or do something. So you've got I think the person whose rocket exploded was working with NASA, or they had this thing where they're going to try and put a base on the moon. Now this is the other problem, that the Ninja Kitty says, can you just put the football in the lower corner of screen? So, I can't see, that's gone through. But I mean, if you're saying, could I put the football on the screen while I'm live streaming, that's not going to be very interesting, because I'd just be doing this and occasionally saying, oh no, or yes, finally we've won a match, or we've scored a goal. It'd be a bit silly watching me not saying anything, because when I'm watching football, I can't do two things at once. You have to be watching the football. That won't be a possibility, but I have to check the times. Anyway, back to rockets exploding, because I do find it all quite interesting. Yes, it was Bezos and Elon. Elon Musk, that's the name. So yeah, I mean, they've got lots and lots and lots of money, those two people. So they're building rockets, they're trying to get to the moon, to make something on the moon. I don't know whether they're both trying to make something on the moon, but somebody's trying to make something on the moon, like some kind of center. I was going to say some kind of center, but it almost sounds like it's like a sports center or something, and they're just going to put it on the moon. That's not what's going to happen. It's like maybe a research center. I don't know. I assume they will build this center or facility, and then they will be doing tests on the moon, and I don't know what they're going to be doing, what kinds of tests. But yeah, it's all quite interesting. And I do find that kind of stuff interesting, but on the other side of it, I think, well, you've got humans that, they want to explore, they want to push the boundaries of technology and knowledge and all these different things, and you think, that's fantastic, that's great. But I can't help but think, what if we use the money first to sort the Earth out, so that when we get to the moon, we've already made sure that the home is safe. It's like, there's no point in having something on the moon if then you can't go back to the Earth. And because everyone's not going to be able to make it to the moon. It's not somewhere where you can live full time. So I think we should sort out the things on Earth first. But it's their money, so that they can do what they want with it. But I don't know. It all starts to get a little bit political when you start talking about the ethical implications of wanting to go to space and go to the moon and spending billions and billions on that, and then you've got other people on Earth who haven't got clean drinking water, and you've got all the wars going on as well. So it's all I guess that's just human nature. So it's all a bit sad, but anyway, the rocket exploded, so I guess that's going to be quite expensive. They're going to have to find another rocket somewhere, or just rebuild it. So it's always the two ends of the spectrum when you're talking about space exploration, and how much it costs to put together. Absolutely eye-watering. And this is the other thing that you'd question, or at least I would question, the upper limit of how much a person can make, how much money. Because I think if there were a ceiling and you said, right, everyone can make that amount of money, which is enough for everyone to live, like say for example, I mean, the figure that I'd put on it would be like maybe £5 million. I think if you had that amount of money, then you can afford a house, you can afford a car, and yeah, you can afford to pay your heating and stuff. So you think, yeah, you could have quite a comfortable life with £5 million. I think a lot of people would quite like to have £5 million. So then you think, right, so anything above that goes to helping the world out, any issues that we have. And yeah, that would be cool. Imagine if I was in charge. I'd say, right, that's the limit now. So yeah, you have £5 million if you're lucky enough to get to that point. Anything else that is made, then yeah, we just throw into community projects and things, and sort the world out. But obviously that's not the way that the world works. So yeah, people can literally make billions and billions of pounds and dollars. You think, yeah, that's, for one person to have that, it's a bit crazy. And then yeah, you look at people then buying, like a 5 million or a 20 million pound yacht. So you think, well, yeah, okay, but then they probably don't use it. It's all well, then some of you guys will know my videos sometimes that we start with, where people request running blind, with that video that I've put in there to kind of pose some questions about things. But there's a guy who's just asking for any spare change, and then you look at a massive yacht that's just in the harbour, just not doing anything. But anyway, let's move on, because we're having a bit of a news episode here. So we had Arsenal unfortunately not winning football, a rocket blowing up as well, and the weather report, which has been the heat, which is thankfully getting less hot, which is good. So anyway, right, I wonder whether we'll jump into Troll Corner, because that's something that I always forget to do. We will jump into Troll Corner now, just to get it out of the way. And by the way, More Than Words has 53% of the vote. So yeah, you can keep on voting on that. And we're looking for, what is that, 67 more people to hit the thumbs up to get ourselves to 340 likes. And then we'll bust out the guitar and have Phil Jam number 330. So yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. And Kevin says, did aircon parts arrive? Yes, they did, and they arrived a day early, which was good. Kind of threw out my whole schedule though, because on a Wednesday, I'm kind of recording a video, and usually I don't have time to do anything, but because they'd arrived, I thought, right, I've got to see if my idea works. So I've now got basically this sheet of perspex, is what it's called, and it's exactly the width and the height of where the window is. So it means that when you've kind of got the outer casing of the window, and then the window opens outwards, and obviously the outer part of the window doesn't move. So I measured it so that my theory was, if I put Velcro and stick it to the outside part, and then stick the opposite, like the hooks of the Velcro, on the perspex thing, I should theoretically be able to push it into the gap of the window, therefore leaving no space around the edges. And I had a hole cut into the middle of the perspex, so then I can put the tube, the exhaust fan thing, and that's what I'm going to call it. I can put that tube through the hole so that it will stop bugs coming in and things, but it means that I can have the air conditioning on without having to worry about having lights on, for example, because that's always the worst thing, is that you have the lights on, and especially when it's like 30 plus degrees, you get all kinds of bugs that now come out of the woodwork. Not the woodwork, they just come out of the grass and things outside. And yeah, they're like daddy long legs, these little beetle things, had mosquitoes as well. What else did we have? Spiders, I had quite a lot of spiders. So yeah, all a bit of a pain. They see the light and then they all come in. So now I will say that my plan, my theory did work. So I pushed it up against the window. Obviously, I then put my hand through the hole to open the window, and then I put the tube through the hole, and it's pretty much a perfect fit, so there's not really any space for bugs to come in. And yeah, it means that I can have the air conditioning on and even have the light on where the air conditioning unit is, whereas before I was always trying to keep it dark because I didn't want bugs to come in through the window, whereas now, yeah, in order to get in, they have to find the exact right spot that is minute to come through. So yeah, I got that set up and it all works, which is great. So I've got the air conditioning going at the moment, and there's also so I ordered, I mean, this is maybe overconfident, but I ordered two, like another custom size with the hole in, so that I thought, right, if I need this for another window, because sometimes you want to move the air conditioning around because it might be hot in one particular room and not another room. So then I thought, right, if I get another one cut, that means that I can have the same setup in a different room, but obviously the window's a different size. But that works as well. So it was a double thumbs up. So I've got for the live streams, I've got my NASA system that I developed, which means that the air conditioning unit is quite a way away, but then I've got the what's it called, kind of piping I don't know what it's called, but the tubing that now comes from the air conditioning into this room. And this is why you can hear what I'm saying and I'm not drowned out by the sound of an air conditioning unit. So yeah, it's good. And what I've done is, this is my NASA thing that I developed, was a bin liner, cutting off both ends of the bin liner, and then cutting down the side of the bin liner, using gaffer tape now to tape up where I've made the cut, because the bin bag was kind of too big. What is it called, a bin liner, was too big, so I made it smaller. So now imagine that you've got a bin liner type tube, and by the way, if you don't know, gaffer tape sticks to bin lining material like you wouldn't believe. So once it's stuck, it's not coming unstuck unless you're going to actually rip apart the bin liner or the bin bag. So anyway, so we've got that tube, and then on one side of that I used the Velcro trick again. So I put Velcro on one side, and it's kind of the, what do I do? Oh, it's the hook version. And then around the outside of the air conditioning unit, I put the fluffy version, so the hooks grab onto that. So it means that I push against the air conditioning unit, so now it's effectively blowing the cold air through a bin bag, and then the other end of the bin bag I just wrap it around the tubing and use like Velcro tape to pull it tight. So now all of that air is going down the tube, and then you can just buy lots of tubing and pretty much have that tube ending up wherever you want. Obviously you have to kind of walk over it to wherever it's going to go, but that is my somebody said garbage. Pam says garbage bag. So yeah, that's what we call them, bin liners here. So that's what I've used, and that's my NASA system. So yeah, when it's on, obviously it's like a big balloon of bin bag, because the air kind of blows it vertically out, but then it goes into the tube, and this is why I can feel it on me very lightly at the moment, but I don't point it directly at me because it's a little bit too strong. So that is my system that works. And now the exhaust fan, or should I say the exhaust tubing, now is a more convenient setup as well. So that's double thumbs up. Let's have some fireworks for air conditioning. There we go. Right, now we are looking for 48 more people to hit the thumbs up before the end of the live stream. How long have we got? 32 minutes, something like that. So if you guys can hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, and then we'll bust out the guitar before the end of the live stream. So I know people have asked for pictures of my NASA thing, but I always forget to take a picture. it's never really the top of my list of things to do. But yeah, if I can remember to do it at some point, then I will do. Oh yeah, let's jump into Troll Corner. I said we were going in there, and then we never did. So let's go into there, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So, I think I had a couple of comments like this. I don't know whether it's the same person that made the same comment, but on the Sir Paul McCartney video, where if you haven't seen it, what I'm doing is I'm pointing out that it's a fully live vocal from Sir Paul McCartney, and we look at his vocal, relatively briefly on the pitch monitoring software, but we're just listening to parts of the performance because I was pointing out that, first of all, for TV shows, it's rare that you get a performance that is just fully live and fully unedited. So I said that is refreshing. And also for people that are saying about, Sir Paul McCartney and, what's happened to his voice or anything like that, I say that people have to understand what they are comparing it to, first of all, but then also that he's 83 and almost 84. He will be next month. So he's been doing it his whole life. And it's amazing that he can even just still perform, given, over 60 years of performing live, which is crazy. So I was very much pointing that out, that first of all, you've got to know what you're listening to and what you're comparing it with, but also that he's been doing this a very long time. So it's amazing that he can kind of do it in the first place. And then the comment that I got from this particular person was saying, Phil, I have been a fan of your channel, but you're so negative, and it's just that he's getting older. So what's your problem? Just leave him alone, and you're jumping on the bandwagon and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what's going on with some people, that they literally are not watching the video at all. They're not watching the video, and then they're making a comment assuming what I'm going to be saying, and they're then arguing against what they're assuming I'm saying, having not seen me say anything. So yeah, that's crazy. And I don't know whether it's the same person making the comment, whether it is literally just a troll, because somebody else said a similar thing on another video, which again was a live performance and something that was a totally unedited vocal, and me pointing out that was the case. And somebody commented saying, "Oh, I can't believe that you're so negative and you're having a go at them." And I don't know what it is. That some people must be commenting on videos, and no matter what the video is going to be, no matter how positive it is, they are automatically going to say, "Oh, you're so negative." And very much with my videos, I keep them as objective as possible. There might be some things that I kind of fundamentally as an artist don't agree with, and one of those things is kind of overly tuning great singers' voices. But I don't have a go at any singers or bands. It's always very much just an industry thing, the industry wide application and industry standard of tuning that I'm not a big fan of. But when I'm looking at a performance, I'm just going to be pointing out what's going on. So there's nothing, especially in that Sir Paul McCartney video, there's nothing negative there. If anything, I'm saying, look, let's not be negative. Let's just accept that either you like it or you don't like it, which is absolutely fine. But I think that if you do say, "Oh, well, I don't like this," you've got to understand what it is in the first place to then understand or realize that you don't like it. Because if you say, "Oh, I don't like this compared to that other performance that I've seen of that band when they're actually not singing live and it's just the CD playing," you think, well, those two things, you can't compare those. But obviously you have to know that you're listening to the CD when you're watching a live performance. If you don't know that, then you'll think that the band you're watching, are the greatest band ever because they can sound exactly like their CD. But once you know what the performance is, then you can make a judgment. It might be the case that some people say, "Oh, well, I don't like the sound of it," and I am comparing it to other live bands and things that I genuinely know are live, then that's fine as well. what does surprise me sometimes is the amount of time people spend commenting saying that they don't like something. Because, yeah, I don't think I've ever gone and found things I don't like to then comment on, because I've got better things to do, because I can be watching the things that I do like. So, yes, like I said, it is amazing. You will get people that return over and over and over again to the comment section, writing more and more and more comments saying that they don't like something, and that they don't like this artist, they don't like that band, and they should give up, and they can't do this, they can't do that. But you think, well, yeah, but wouldn't you rather, you know that you don't like something, so wouldn't you then put that to the side and think, well, I don't like that, so I'm going to focus on something that I do like? It's like, imagine in any other part of your life, there's something that you don't like. And imagine that you go and try to seek out the thing that you don't like to go and say, I don't like it. So I know, here's a point. Let's say that you don't like Domino's pizza. So you think, hang on, I don't like Domino's pizza, and I've just seen an advert for them on my TV. I'm going to go to my nearest Domino's pizza place, and I'm going to tell them that I don't like them. So then somebody gets in their car, they drive to Domino's Pizza, they get out, they go to the thing, and they say, oh, what's your name, what's the order? So I haven't made an order. I don't like Domino's Pizza. Then the guy behind the desk says, okay. He says, and I don't like pepperoni. And I think your bases are too thick. And I don't like your garlic sauce. So they say, okay. And then the person goes, yeah, so take that. And then they go out and they leave. They get in their car, they go home. But then the next day they come back saying, yeah, have you thought about what I said yesterday about not liking Domino's? And the person says, no. He says, well, I'd like to add another reply to that. So I also don't like your barbecue sauce. And I don't like your potato wedges. So what are you going to do about that? And Domino's Pizza says, well, nothing. Because if you don't like it, you don't have to order it. You're not our audience. So, yeah, or our customer. But you know what I'm saying now, comparing this to music, the people that are actively going out and spending their free time just saying that they don't like something. I mean, for me, it is a weird... I don't know, it's a weird trait to do that, to spend so much time on it. So, yeah, there we have it. There's a hypothetical situation, but yeah, just finding things you don't like and then making sure that you go to the place to tell them that you don't like it. It's just a bit crazy. Obviously, it's easy to access, and that's why I think what they call them here is like keyboard warriors. Like, because they're on the internet and they've got a keyboard in front of them, that they feel really brave and they type things that they might not necessarily have the guts to say to someone in real life. But yeah, I just think it's a bit weird. But that is Troll Corner for tonight. And what I would say is, when I release a video, I think if you are going to comment on it, at the very least watch the video, because then you won't appear, I guess, a little bit foolish by saying exactly what I'm saying in my video, but then arguing against that. You're arguing against the point that is being made in the video, and you're making that point, so it doesn't make sense on any level. So anyway, that's Troll Corner for tonight. Let's get out of here, and I'll see you in a second. Rock. Okay, let me just skip that advert before that tried to pop in there. So right now, I think we will jump into the cover video for tonight. It looks like it's going to be maybe more than words. I'll bring that to a close and see. Yeah, it's relatively close. Relatively close. 52% of the vote. So thank you guys for voting for More Than Words as tonight's cover video. And what else was there? Was something else I was about to do. I can't remember what it was, but the likeometer, we're looking for 26 more people. If you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And then we'll bust out the guitar, have a fill jam if we get up to 340. So yeah, we need to find some more people to hit that thumbs up. But let's jump into tonight's cover video, and I'll actually see how long the fill jam backing track is for tonight, to know how long we need to leave at the end, if indeed we hit the target of 340. But let's jump into my version of More Than Words. And oh, by the way, we've got Ruben, who's just donated 4,000 Argentinian pesos. I think, if my memory... Oh, hang on. We've had another donation from Rene that sneaked in there just before, and that was for $2. So thank you for that, Rene. And then it was Ruben who donated 4,000 Argentinian pesos. So thank you for that. And the message was, "Hi Phil, here from Santa Fe, Argentina. Lately, I reviewed some of your videos about the Gibb brothers. Amazing analysis you did. And, by the way, amazing performances from the Bee Gees." So thank you for that. And, I can just see that Joe says 7 minutes for the backing track tonight. So we're going to have to, keep organised to leave enough space for that. But, thank you for that, Ruben. Yeah, the Bee Gees just... harmony wise, they're just one of those blends of voices that are instantly recognizable. And it's a shame now, of course, that they have, the record label have now started pitch correcting their voices on historic performances, or at least the one that I looked at in an analysis video. But yeah, I very much rather look at their performances that are just totally natural, to show that they weren't using tuning to do that. They just were that good, that they just practiced and managed to get their harmonies so close. Obviously, being brothers and living together means that they could practice all the time, but they're just absolutely, the blend of voices as well, just absolutely locked in. But the songs as well, there's so many kind of different things. You can say instrumentally, that obviously that they could be effectively a band, but then vocally they're a vocal group harmonizing with each other, and then writing songs, because the songwriting part of it is totally different. You've got to have great songs. And they kind of rolled everything into one and had such unique voices independently as well. So always great to look at the Bee Gees performances when they haven't been edited or post-pitch corrected. So anyway, we will jump into my version of More Than Words. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you after. Rock! Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017, and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme, and I hope you like it. Rock!
Saying I love you, it's not the words I want to hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you.
And there we have it. That was my version of More Than Words by Extreme, of course. So I've grabbed the guitar, but we are still looking for 9 people to hit the thumbs up to then actually have a fill jam. So I've maybe jumped the gun a little bit to see it, well, to predict that we're going to get there. Who knows? But I figured because it's, 7 minutes in length, the backing track, I think, well, if we leave a little bit of time to try and get to the target, we're now looking for 7 more people, then if I'm ready to go, then we'll definitely be able to fit it in before the end of the live stream. So, I mean, we could just be looking at the counter, like 334 is what mine says. Or Cindy says read questioned. Oh, hang on, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to navigate my way. Okay, right, so quickly, here we go. What's the best way to get the timing down for a recording? Play all parts to a click track, or have the bass percussion parts done first for others to play off of, and should even that bass drums be done to a click track? Does that mathematical precision take away from some of the organic vibe of a song? Do you then end up like angine de poitrine? Laugh out loud. So, okay, right. I can only really speak to the way that I did things, or that I do things if I have something that I need to record. So with my album, for example, I'd been playing those songs, for years with my band, and my drummer therefore knew the songs. So I got down just like a guide track, but I mean, he knew the songs anyway. But if somebody didn't know the songs, then I'd get down a guide track, which means just playing some rough guitar, and maybe even just doing a rough vocal to get everything exactly where it needs to be. And my preference was to have a click track going, but because I was, the drummer that I had, he was like a drum teacher and a session drummer as well. It meant that he was used to playing to a click, but hearing the click and kind of playing the way that he plays. So yeah, even when a drummer's playing to a click, I think they can still put in their own kind of personality to it. So yeah, we literally went through all of the songs, and yeah, he played to a click on each of them, because of course, because they were my songs, I wanted them to be a particular speed, because I know kind of what the tempo should be. So yeah, he would just drum along to those. And then when it came to kind of editing drums, or trying to change anything about them, I tended to leave them as kind of free form as I could. If there are any parts that were obviously, you know, I don't know, not where they should have been, or something that I felt, oh well, that needs to change a little bit, then yeah, I might kind of edit it here or there. But yeah, in terms of kind of selecting everything and just clicking quantize, I didn't do that. I didn't want it to be like that. So yeah, so you know, so his playing is still there, so that hopefully when people listen to it, they don't think, oh well, this just sounds like a drum machine or something like that. Hopefully enough of his kind of personality comes through the drums. So that's what I do. So it means that the drums I got down first, then the bass after the drums. So I very much kind of get down the rhythm section first, and yeah, everything else, you know, then guitars, and then kind of lead vocal is what I'll put in when most of the track is there, and the kind of bells and whistles are then the harmony vocals, backing vocals, if I've got those in there, and then lead guitar. So I'd say the backing harmony vocals, like when I was doing them, I would do like the lead vocals, for example, on like a Tuesday, and then I'd do all of the backing vocals on a Thursday. So, and I made sure that I did them all in one session so that it sounded consistent. So like if you're recording a song, I wanted every vocal. So if I, like, say for example, I'm doing Art Not Commerce, the song at the beginning, I recorded all of the vocals for that in one session on like a Tuesday. So the lead vocal is now done. And then I did all of the backing vocals on like a Thursday, all in one session. The reason that I do them all in the same session is because I found, like, sometimes when I was, you know, breaking up things, or like in the past, so this didn't happen with my album because I already learned this lesson doing recording previously, that I'd record a vocal, then I might go away, and then the next day I'd come back and maybe do the second verse, and I'd listen to it back, and there was something about the second verse that kind of sonically was different to the first verse, and there was no rhyme or reason to it other than just thinking, well, it was a different time of day. Was the atmosphere in the studio slightly, you know, different? Was there more moisture in the air? What was going on? And I realized that there are so many potential variables to now getting the same sound, because, you know, I wasn't in like a really, you know, high-end professional studio. It was just kind of recording it all myself, you know, very much, yeah, this kind of situation, setting up a mic and doing all you can to get the cleanest sound possible. But it meant that I thought, right, these two, as much as you might try and EQ it to sound the same, I just couldn't get it to sound the same. And I don't think sometimes you can, because it's just in the DNA of that audio that it was just slightly different. So yeah, I then decided, right, the only way to get a vocal consistent the whole way through is to do it all at the same time, so that the conditions never change. So that's what I did for all of the vocals on my album, so that when I'm singing through every song, it sounds like I'm doing it all at the same time, because I did it all at the same time. So, and that's how I wanted it to sound. I didn't want it to sound all kind of disjointed. So that is kind of how I do it. So drums first, bass, you know, so that's like the rhythm section sorted, and then everything else is laid on top of that. I then obviously listen to the drums and the bass when playing everything else, so that it all kind of hopefully locks in and sounds relatively in time and tight. So right now, let's have a look. We have made it to 343 likes, only just. So we're going to be jumping into this backing track, and oh, here we go. This is, okay, that's working. This is Led Zeppelin style guitar backing track in A minor from Q Jam Tracks. So, oh, let's just remember to zoom out, and the red dude appears instantly. Q Jam Tracks. As for the levels, who knows what's going to happen. I can't really edit it on the fly anyway. Let's have a listen. Hopefully you can hear this, and hopefully I can hear this, but we'll see what happens. had to make up my own ending for that. So a bit of a weird kind of fade out thing that we had. And yeah, what I love about that backing track, it was like really close to being, but not quite being Stairway to Heaven. So yeah, that's that was quite good. Led Zeppelin style guitar backing track in A minor from Q Jam Tracks. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. And yeah, obviously, yeah, it's kind of tempting sometimes to play like the vocal melody over the top, but it's more just about extemporization and seeing what happens, and that's just what happened. So there we have it. Now it is time for me to call things to a close, and I'll just make sure, let's get rid of the lycometer, because I'm looking at the super chat window here. It's Jennifer who donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, if anyone was born to be an entertainer, it is Sir Paul. Most people his age can't sing well either. Cheers. So thank you for that. And Diamond Girl 1234 donated $10 and said, thank you for another great live stream and jam. Don't forget to enjoy life while you are on the journey. Take the time while you can. It goes fast. So yeah, thank you for that as well. And I mean, yeah, just talking about time, one thing I'm starting to learn is that when you're really busy, every single minute of the day starts having its own kind of personality, because you know exactly what you're doing on that minute of the day, because when you're going through the same process day in, day out, or week in, week out, if you have the same weekly schedule of recording and editing and emails and this and that, it's funny how I think when you're a kid, or even when I was in my teens or 20s, hours can pass and you don't really know anything about that time that's gone. Whereas, I'm sure very busy people will understand this, that every single minute of the day has its own kind of feel to it, because you know what you're doing at that particular minute. So but for the World Cup, then I'm going to have some of that time when I'm not thinking about how long I've got left to do something. I've got to finish it by that time, because then I've got to go and do that. I'll make some time to enjoy the World Cup and have a little bit more relaxation time. So Johnny Be Good donated 30 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one, and I will see you then. Catch you tomorrow night. Rock!